All right, we're live.
Hey everyone, Nick Symmonds, the CEO of Run Gum here, and this is a special day for me because we have 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, 800-meter specialist, Clayton Murphy. This is too cool. Thank you so much for coming in. I know you're training a little bit in Oregon, getting ready for pre-classic. How do you like Eugene?
It's nice. The weather's beautiful this week.
This week.
Rainy when I got here.
Yeah.
But last couple of days have been beautiful.
When you're coming from Akron, so
yeah.
It's always
I mean,
a little
when it's
better.
rainy here,
Yeah.
it's not cold. When it's raining in Akron, it's cold.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit
when you get
nicer.
those really cold winters too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wind.
That brings us to our first question. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions for Clayton. We've actually asked you guys to feed us a few yesterday via our various social accounts. So the first one that everybody wants to know is, do you prefer indoors or outdoors? Because I know you train a lot indoors in Akron, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So
and you're very good at indoors.
We have a really nice 300-meter flat.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
In Akron, so it's really nice to be able to train in there. Two different animals.
Right. Almost two different sports in some ways.
I mean, the strategy of indoor is completely different. Actually, on a run this morning, we were talking about how you can't wait till the last 50 meters because it's really not.
There's not enough runway.
Yeah, it's just it's gone. So, I think I prefer the strategy of indoor. But I enjoy the outdoors, the outside.
Yeah.
It's,
well, I'm biased because I never raced indoors growing up. We just didn't have them in Boise. The first indoor race I ever ran was my first year as a pro, and I'm like, why would we purposely run on a slower surface? But it does make for a little more of like a cat and mouse game. Indoors.
It's a whole different animal.
You're successful at both.
The
200
meter banks is a whole different animal too.
Yeah.
So being in the college system, I was used to the 300 meter flat. Training on it,
right.
And then a lot of colleges have the 300 meter flats now.
And you ran your mile best this year at Millrose.
Yeah, and
that's
a
Millrose race 200 meter bank.
Was my second. That was only the second time I ran a mile on the 200 meter bank, so I was really inexperienced on it.
And you still ran 354, right?
I fell to the prowess of I can wait till the last 200 meters, and when the bell rings, it's all out. It's gone.
Yeah.
And you're at
354 miler. We all know you as an 800 meter runner. I'm proud to call you an 800 meter runner. But I know you have such range. And you've run 3:36.22 for 1,500 meters. Do you identify more as an 800-meter runner or as a 1,500-meter runner, as a little bit of both?
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Day by day, week by week,
where you're
meet
at.
by meet. I mean, it really depends. Training's pretty similar. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't have to be like, I'm getting a 1,500 meter.
You don't
race.
feel that you need to really focus your training on one or the other?
Yeah, I mean, I think my training as a whole is more strength-based than speed-based, and so it makes it nice to be able to make a transition. Obviously, when I'm getting ready for an 8, I'm going to run a little bit faster 200s at some point.
Right.
But other than that, as a majority, mileage doesn't really change if I'm getting ready for an 8.
What kind of mileage do you do right now?
55, 50, 60. Yeah, it's kind
pretty
of
low. I mean, for a miler, pretty high for an 800 meter.
Yeah, it's that little middle range, and it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Not many just junk 8-mile runs.
Yeah. How many sessions a week?
2 to 3.
I'm like geeking out. I'm geeking out on the training right here. I'm like, tell me your secrets.
I can just dump my log right here.
Perfect.
2 to 3. It obviously just depends. We came off that huge block of racing there in April, and then mileages obviously went up here, getting ready for Prefontaine, as we had a bigger training block here in May. Training went up, mileage went up, but it was a lot of 2 track sessions with a trail tempo type session. So if you want to call it
your long run too?
12.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just straight long run, no tempo, no.
Usually if I'm doing 10, usually it's kind of a cut down.
Yeah.
I mean, I've cut all the way down the 5-minute pace on 10 mile, but usually about 5:45 is usually. Nice. But then the 12 miles are usually.
I could do one of those right now.
Just consistent, steady state 12-mile runs.
All right, let's throw it way back. How did you get into running? You grew up in Ohio.
Yeah.
And were you always a runner? Did you start out as a soccer player?
Soccer. Yeah.
Like
soccer.
a lot of us.
Yeah. That's what we were talking to Weeding yesterday.
Big soccer
Our kids are playing soccer because that's what every good runner.
In the 90s, late 80s, every kid was playing soccer.
Every kid played soccer.
What position did you play?
Every position except for defense.
Really?
Because I just wanted to run.
Once they found you could run, they put you in midfield and just ran you up and down.
Either run me up and down or put me at striker and just literally
just
kick the ball as far as they could. And
that's what I lived for.
Yeah.
The foot race.
Yeah.
And then I realized that that's what I lived for. I probably should go.
But I was always so competitive. Kid would push me, I had to go push him back. That kind of competitiveness.
Yeah.
So I don't know, kind of works.
And did you play any other sports?
I played basketball up till freshman year of high school.
Cool.
So those 3 sports were the big things that I got into. But so junior high, I remember the lunch sign-ups for cross country. My friend was like, "Yo, my brother runs. Heard it's a lot of fun. You don't have to do anything."
Yeah.
And our practice in my high school and junior high was at a old like farm.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a pond, so you could swim after every practice in the pond, and you ran through cow pastures and creeks, and it was like fun.
Yeah, you're outside
and you did whatever you wanted
around a little bit.
And then so it developed from like, oh, let's have fun to like,
yeah.
oh, let's try to take this a little bit more serious.
When did you start taking it seriously? High school?
Yeah, after freshman year of high school.
Okay.
I ran 940.
You do cross and track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran 940 as a freshman.
For 2 miles.
In 3,200. And that's kind of the point when I was like, hey, like, got a little bit of knack for this.
Yeah, that's good.
So it always kind of grew from like, have fun to conference to then we had district, regional, state. So every year it was like,
get real focused.
It was like make
time.
Regionals,
Mm-hmm.
make state. It kind of grew every year. And obviously, like junior, senior year became take it to the next level.
A lot of kids out there want to know, what were your personal best leaving high school?
Leaving high school, 411 in the 1600.
That's for 1600, yeah.
154.
Nice.
2, I think. 49, 2 in the 400, open 4. I'd split like a 46 mid a couple times.
Interesting. So you'd run 46 for an open quarter and 411, but 154 was your best 8. I would say that was your weakest event.
I never
on paper.
would run a fresh 8.
Oh, really?
That's
I
always doubling
or tripling.
I would either run like 4x8, 16.
I gotta think you had a 150 or 151.
Yeah, and I never was, and I always in high school I'd always race to win.
Yeah.
And so it was whatever it took to win or qualify for state. So
that's smart.
The only time I ever really raced to place or to run a fast time was state meet.
Right. I think that's an important lesson for young kids, is that you're being asked to run 1, 2, sometimes 4 races in a given meet. You got to learn to run to win, and it's a nice time, especially if you're a dominant athlete like you were, to just practice those tactics. Learn to win on a fast pace. Learn to win on a slow pace. You know, coming from Idaho, which isn't exactly the mecca of running, I could win a state title in 157, and I remember it was Kelly Sullivan who recruited me out here to Oregon when I was 18. He said, Nick, you're just going to develop a taste for winning. Mm-hmm. And so that's really what you've done, whether it was in high school or then at Akron, was it the University of Akron? Yeah. You learned how to win. Mm-hmm. And so tell us, where did you develop your tactics? Was that more in high school? Was that more in college? And what would you define your race tactics as? I'm a sitting kicker because I have crap speed, but you have great speed.
Yeah. I think it started in high school, developed more in college. I remember junior year conference. Tell you how good my high school team was. I was the only guy who broke 5 minutes in the mile on my high school team.
Really?
Yeah. So we had a kid that wanted to break 5 minutes. So I said, I'm going to take the race out in 73s.
Yeah.
In conference and let this kid break 5 minutes.
Nice.
And so I ran the first 800 in 73 pace, and then kind of picked it up 72 pace, and then obviously had to sprint the last 200 to win.
Yeah.
And I remember a coach walking up to my coach when I was talking to him and said, hey, like, why'd your athlete do that? My coach said, well, 2 things, he's practicing race tactics, and he wanted to help his teammate.
Yeah.
And the coach was like, oh, I guess that makes sense, practicing race tactics. So, yeah, I kind of started in high school and developed, because like I said, every meet up to the state meet kind of was just like run the win, and then the state meet, my senior year became a duel between Corey Glines in Northern Arizona now, and I, literally a man versus man duel, and he literally dragged me through 1,550 meters, and I kind of nicked him at the line. And like, so that was a whole different race tactic I had to learn on the spot. So then when I went to college, my freshman year, it was an insane amount of races. I was running every possible race, maybe 1 or 2, just like high school.
From all the way to 400 up to...
I never touched the 4.
Yeah.
Even freshman year, I only ran maybe 2 8s freshman year.
Okay.
It was all 15s.
5K?
I ran 1 5K.
And you ran cross as well at college?
Yeah, cross.
And you had a great cross career as well, as I recall.
Yeah, I think my sophomore year I was like 2 spots out of individual qualifying at the Great Lakes in the 10K. It was, you
got some kind of range.
That was not fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm never going to volunteer to run a 10K on the grass again.
Don't recommend it.
I mean,
yeah.
The 3K indoors this year was enough for me distance-wise at this point. But no, I don't not like the distance, but obviously I enjoy the short sessions because that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But
so we all want to be 100-meter runners.
We all want
to
to
just kind of working our way there until we can't go any lower.
Trying.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously through conference, like conference in the American is strong, but it's not high caliber. So a lot of the races were like this indoor season. I ran the DMR, the mile, the 8, and the 4x4, and the 3 individual races in the DMR were like 300-meter races for me. So there's a lot of just putting myself in position and working on the last.
Where do you like to be? You know, I always thought for me, it was about 600 meters was just kind of waiting, positioning to get to the last 200.
Yeah.
If I could get to 600, expending as little energy as possible, then I could start having the fun part of the race. Yeah. Is that kind of how you view it? Some guys like to view it, the last 120. Some guys break it down into 2 quarters. How do you break down that 8? How do you run?
I break it down into
2 fours.
Yeah, or no, 4 2s.
4 2s. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the first 2 is just as relaxed as possible,
Yeah.
being in a position, not being boxed in.
Right.
Exerting the least amount of position possible, just to kind of ease myself into the race. And then that second 2, I had a little bit of difficulty early of just relaxing too much and really kind of falling back. Falling back and just kind of zoning out.
A lot of guys do that.
So
you
now
that
it's
300-meter break that horrible in the 8 that everybody seems to do.
Now it's try to keep the position you're in,
moving.
keep what you earn, because you're not going to exert more by trying to just stay where you're at.
Yeah.
And
get that accelerator again is what's going to cost you.
And then that third 2 is where
Is that your positioning too?
That's what became now.
Mm-hmm.
Early, if you look at the 2015 final, if you watch, I was up front. I wasn't up front, but I was in mid pack, and I literally went from mid pack to last. And then the last 100 meters tried to
just
make everything back up, and
hard to do.
Trying to catch Kaz there at the end. So now it's became that was like the defining moment of that third 200 needs to be where I need to be in position. So your whole trying to be in position at 6 almost has stretched where I was, almost has stretched to 500, 550 for me, where you
that back stretch is very useful because some people put on their brakes a little bit there trying to save something for the last 150, and you can pick off a lot of people down that back.
It's almost
especially with your strength.
You almost want to make one move, but the entire middle, I would say from 300 to 600, that middle 300 is almost the whole one move.
Yeah.
Like a continuous move through the field, or a continuous
if you're fit,
state.
Absolutely, you just keep flowing through that.
Yeah.
If you're not fit, then you just kind of slowly die that death.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're racing Pre this weekend. It's Saturday, correct?
Yeah.
And it's on NBC?
NBC, the Sports Gold, yeah.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in to watch that. We'll be here live watching it, but what are your plans? You've shown fitness already. Do you want to just get in there and be competitive? You haven't won a Pre-Classic yet. I think that's something.
I'm running the mile too.
Oh, you're running the mile. I'm sorry.
Bowerman, yeah.
Okay.
So this is
This is your first mile of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is I ran the 15 at Drake in that road mile.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I got my feet wet.
Yeah.
Literally at Drake, got my feet wet. That was an insanely cold, rainy day.
Oh yeah. Congrats on the win there, by the way.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
The mile this weekend should be fast. Obviously, I mean they're not going to ask for a slow pace.
Do you know what the pace is supposed to be set at?
I've not heard an official time yet. I've obviously heard rumors.
Sub 350.
That's supposedly
usually what they try to pace it at.
Yeah. So I heard the international mile is actually asking 252.
Really?
And so I'm
through 1200.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that ours might be a little faster.
Shoot. All
so
right.
I mean, obviously trying to run 350
Yeah.
be the goal. Trying to be top 5.
And then after that is, and I don't mean to look past your next race, but I think I just read that you're going after Rick Walter's 1,000 meter mark at Portland Track Festival.
Yep. So that'll
Well,
be
we'll
fun.
be up there. Run Gum's going to be at the Portland Track Festival. That's June 11th, and I think I may be racing there, but I'm way more excited to talk about this 1,000 meter. I actually went for it myself. I want to say it was, I don't know, 3 or 4 decades ago, but I think I ran 2:15 or 2:16. I think I gotta think you have a great shot at it.
Yeah, so hopefully try to go through 800 quick enough.
Are you gonna break that down into 200s again?
Probably go 300, and then the last two 200s.
What would you like to come through in the 8 for that K?
Probably around 46.5, 146.5.
So here's a guy who wants to come through the 800 in 146.5 and then just keep rolling. I can't wait to watch.
You just got to run at 27.0 at that.
That's it. Yeah, just another 27.0.
Yeah, just another 27.
I remember always doing the math in my head and thinking it's not that hard, right? If you're a 142 guy coming through in 146.5, you should feel just jogging. But
I mean, that's how you always break it down. You get to 600 and you're like, oh, I have 200 left.
Yeah.
But yeah, your legs are like, no, you have 200 left.
Yeah.
They always don't.
And then, will that be your last race before USA's?
Yeah, correct.
And then on to Europe?
As of right now, try to run fast in Europe.
Good.
We'll see what happens.
Did you go to Europe last year for a bit?
I ran Brussels after.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How was that? It's a pretty incredible event.
Yeah, it's a whole different event.
Yeah.
And I got stuck bleeding through 600, which is a whole different animal. So it was a good experience. Not a good race in general.
Yeah.
But it was a really good experience to lead for 700 meters.
You've got to get that international experience. And this is something I selfishly want to ask you. I was going to ask him off camera, but I'm going to ask it on camera for you guys. When I didn't race in 2015 because of my issues with USATF, I remember you texted me and you said, hey, I'm the 4th place guy, and if you don't go, I get to go to Beijing, and I just need to know what your plans are. And I'm like, this little shit trying to take my spot. But you were so respectful about it, and I was so happy that it was going to a kid like yourself who had shown really great ability to run well in a championship setting. And I thought, if my stalemate with USATF prevents me from going, I can't wait to watch you run. And it was really cool seeing you make the semis out there. Do you feel that having been to a world championship before the Olympics, having gotten that international experience, did that help you at all in Rio?
I mean, it was huge. So I
can single-handedly take credit for your bronze medal.
I mean, single-handedly, it's all yours.
I won't even take 1%, but
it was just Pan Am's, NACAC, and
Yeah.
World Champs all in the same year.
And so you got a lot of
And
international
that was
experience there.
3 races in a jersey, 3 races with Team USA.
Yeah.
Logistics down to how the warm-up area works. To
The call room process.
Yeah,
You're sitting in a call room for 70 minutes.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And you miss that call room door and it shuts. It's
You're
a
done.
whole different animal.
It is.
And it,
Certainly nothing like you'll find in a high school or college setting.
No. And then obviously, so I experienced USA's.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit more one up from NCAAs.
Sure.
Even a non-trials, I felt like it was almost similar to an NCAA champs in the way they handled it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a whole lot more different. Obviously, the atmosphere, it's a little more tense, I think. NCAA is a little bit more laid back than that USA's. But it's just, that international level is just a whole different, the way they race, the way they push and shove. It's just a whole different
it is. It's insane. I mean, there's nothing like it. Then take us then through 2016. You raced so much. I remember as you were trying to qualify or get your qualifying time in the 15 in May and June, and then 3 rounds of trials. I just thought there's no way he can go through the entire summer with how much you raced and have anything left in your legs in Rio. This is what I'm telling everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, the kid's done. There's no way he'll do anything. He raced too many times. And you go on to run 1:42.93 in Rio. Tell us, how did you meter out your energy? Did you know you had that in your legs, or is that just Clayton Murphy rising to the occasion?
I think I always obviously told myself it was in my legs.
Yeah.
Obviously after the rough prelim I had a little bit of doubt, but I kept equating it to the pushing and shoving and having to run a fartlek style 800 and just wasn't my race. And I knew that if I came back in the semifinals, I had plenty of rest and came back in the evening and wanted to run well. To make that final, I was going to have to run probably another PR.
Yeah.
And so when you kind of get that in your mind, you like stick your nose where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
And really get after it. And that's kind of what I did. And after that semifinal, once you make a final,
The semi is harder than the final.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people were asking me, like, it's a semifinal. Because you really feel like it's a semifinal, it shouldn't be that bad. But you're coming off 1 day rest, no rest. Like, you're coming off the day before, and it's just like, you got to get after it.
Yeah.
And so, same thing with like trials. Just come back and stick your nose in there and really just take care of business in the semifinal.
Yeah. Boy, I mean, you really brought it. And, it took me 2 times to make an Olympic final. And when I got there, I felt prepared, but the maturity that you showed in your first Olympic final, at the end of a long season, to run such a tactically perfect race, to set a personal best in the final, what I like to say, to bring your best product when it really counts, you earned that bronze medal. Congratulations, man. And I was here with some of the guys here at Rungam HQ, and we were screaming, and it was just a really cool moment to see an American win an Olympic medal.
Thanks.
So, all right, that's Clayton Murphy, 2016 Olympic bronze medalist in the 800 meters, 142.93. Couple 142 guys here. I'm so honored to have him here. He will be signing all of the variety packs purchased at rungum.com today. I'm going to make sure he signs one just for me. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for answering all my questions. Anything we can do to help you this season, you let us know. Thanks, guys.